Yes. Welcome to another episode of Karat Juice. I am your host, Monte Lee. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this program, whether you're sitting down, you're walking around, you're at a coffee shop having something good to drink. I appreciate you for taking the time. I want to start this off with a little housekeeping. Karat Juice, if this is your first time listening, this is a place where we talk about a range of topics. I give social commentary and I rant about what I find interesting. And here at Karat Juice, I try to keep it light and fun. And overall, it's a humorous dose of common sense because in today's world, there's a lot of erratic thought and behavior. So sit down, relax, and take a sip. Also, if you haven't done so already and you're watching this video on YouTube, please do me a favor and lend me a BMW special. If you don't know what a BMW special is, if you like the content, if you vibe with me, if you're getting some value out of any of this at all, go ahead and lend me a BMW by believing in my work. You can do that by sharing the episode, liking the content, subscribing if you haven't already. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it is very much appreciated. So I'm going to give you a second while you do that. All right, on with the program. So the first topic today that we're going to get into has to do with an article that I found. You guessed it, TMZ. All right. So I'm going to pull up this article here and then we'll get into it. That's strange. There we go. All right. So the first article that I wanted to get into, it is entitled Eyelid Bite Victim Lash Tech Blocked Me, but she better pay my medical bills. I'm recording this on Monday, June 14th, and this article was published actually on June 13th via TMZ. So according to the article, Kelsey Salmon wants the lash tech whose dog bit off her eyelid to take responsibility, starting with covering a mountain of medical bills, but instead, she says the woman is ducking her. So I'll post the link to this article in the YouTube video, and I'll also include it in the podcast show notes so you can check it out. Forewarning though, it's some graphic content as far as with the lady's eye. So if you're squeamish at all, just move right past that. Don't look at the article. I'll give you an audio description. Forewarning, okay? So Kelsey tells the article, the publisher, she says the lash tech hasn't reached out to her even once since the woman's Chihuahua jumped up and bit off Kelsey's eyelid, complete with her new lashes. Could you imagine that? My goodness, that just seems so traumatic and scary. Wow. Why is your dog anywhere in the area with this going on? I digress. All right, so let's keep going. So she says the tech's already blocked her on Instagram, but the 23-year-old from Atlanta wants to make it clear she's not trying to get rich with a lawsuit. Kelsey says she just wants her medical bills paid, which is understandable. Not to say that it will be cheap, but Kelsey estimates the total could be around 20 to 30K based on the 2 ambulance trips she's already taken and the reattachment surgery. All right. And it looks like there's a link here to what Kelsey was going through. So give me a moment here and I'll clip it. I'll clip it here in the episode and we'll listen to what Kelsey has to say. All right. So let's see what she's talking about. Okay. Yeah.
I have not heard from her at all. Last I knew, she blocked me. So she has not reached out or checked in on me at all.
The lash tech blocked you.
Yes.
If you have a message for her now, I mean, what would you tell her?
I would just say, be more mindful to the event. If my dog were to bit someone's eyelid off, I would 100% be checking on them every day and seeing how it's going. I mean, it's pretty heartless not to even care to ask how the person is doing. I kind of just don't want her doing lashes anymore. I mean, that would be like my one request. Like, I, with the lawsuit thing, I don't even care about getting money from her. I don't need her money. I just want the bills paid because I'm tired of my parents having to pay so much in medical bills for me. I mean, over the last 4 years, I've probably been to the hospital over 100 times, and that adds up. So I don't want another huge financial burden on them. So I just want her to own up and take responsibility for it.
Do you want the dog to be put down?
See, that's where I'm super iffy about it because I'm a huge animal person. I have dogs myself and I love them to death. And if anything were to happen to them, I would be heartbroken. And I have cats too. So I never like to see an animal in pain, but you also have to think about this could happen to someone else. I mean, what if it were a child? I would never want another person to go through what I've gone through. So there's a lot of different sides to it. And last I heard, the dog was in quarantine for 14 days, I think, to make sure it doesn't have rabies or any diseases, and as well as to see if it will attack another dog or another person. So it's just iffy. I mean, no one has asked me if I want it put down, like no authorities or anyone like that has asked me. So I don't know if I even like really have a say in it.
Wow. Wow. That's all I got to say to that. I hadn't heard that before for this. So you're getting my raw and real reaction to it. I just saw the article. I didn't hear what she had to say about it actually. And it looks like after the reattachment surgery, I mean, she has some bruising on her left eyelid, but it looks like she's going to make a recovery, which is good to hear. I hope that she makes a full recovery. However, she put it out there, 100+ hospital trips in her life. She's 23. Goodness gracious. Is it me, or does that seem like a lot? Wow. Regarding the dog, sheesh. Should the dog be put down for this? Man, if the dog does it again, like if the dog did it once, will it do it again? I mean, all of my animal and dog lovers, let me know. I'm pro people over animals any day. Not saying that I want to see animals harmed, but if it's going to be harming people, you got to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry if I offended all you dog lovers, but it's biting people's eyelids off. I think we need to assess the situation, because if that was a person that bit somebody's eyelid off, I'm pretty sure they would be in prison for 15 to 20 years. Right? And that's a dog, and that's a whole dog's life. So I'm not saying that the dog should be harmed, but just sit with that. All right. So yeah, that was insane and crazy. And I hope that she gets a full recovery. And by all means, that lash tech, she gonna have to pay that lady's medical bills. For sure, she's going to have to pay her medical bills. Ladies, people in general, you are responsible for the things that your dog does, you know? So, and then to cut her off and to not return the lady's messages or anything after an incident like that, that is not cool, and she needs to be held accountable. And, and I'll also add this caveat too. These eyelashes that these people are out here with right now and doing, Not cool. Not cool at all. It looks comical. Just go with some natural lashes, please. I mean, come on. See if I can find this. See if I can find it. Like, come on, we don't need these eyelashes. People walking around looking like this. Come on now. We got Snuffleupagus.
Goodness, Mr. Snuffleupagus, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Susan. Hi, kids. I am doing some snuffle sizes.
So I'm gonna leave that at there. But there's some people got Snuffleupagus eyelashes, and yeah, the lashes, the crazy lashes weighing down your whole eyelid. We do not need that in today's day and age, ladies. The natural eyelashes will do, and that's what I have to say about that. Okay, and before we move forward, we have a message from the sponsor. Okay, so moving on. Did you guys see the Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter celebrity boxing match? So, according to TMZ Sports, Lamar Odom knocks out Aaron Carter in a celeb boxing match. First of all, why is Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter fighting anyway? Like, really?
Milk was a bad choice.
Like, that is such a fail in any way. Like, why are we paying to watch Aaron Carter and Lamar Odom box? I want to see actual fighters fighting, maybe. I do not need to see Lamar Odom pummel some guy that's, what? I think he's 10 inches taller than this dude. Like, really? And Lamar Odom was a professional athlete. I mean, we got to stop this, people. We do not need to see more of these celebrity boxing matches. I want to see actual boxers. I am a boxing fan. I already talked about this before. I want to see actual fighters in the ring. But according to the article, Lamar Odom is a champion once again. So the ex-NBA superstar just knocked out ex-NBA superstar? I don't know. Who wrote this? Lamar Odom wasn't a superstar. He was a really good player and he won championships. But he wasn't a superstar. Who wrote this? All right. So Lamar Odom just knocked out Aaron Carter in their celebrity boxing match. Carter came out swinging, okay? He came out swinging, hitting Odom with as many punches as his body could handle. But it was clear from the jump, Odom was in control. Yes, because he's 6'10". Okay? So, and Aaron Carter is 6 foot. Okay? So they duked it out for 2 rounds at the Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City. But the Lakers champion was going to have no issue handing the former pop star in the ring. Of course, handling the former pop star in the ring. So, as previously reported, the UFC Hall of Famer Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, told us he was going to let the dudes fight, and he did. And after a couple of rounds, Aaron Carter said, "No mas." And he was all done, and that was the end of that story. So, apparently, it was a good production. The whole event was a party. Boxer Paul Malignaggi, Ice-T, and Coco were all on the mic to provide fun commentary, and the other fights on the card provided were a bunch of fun as well. So it's entertaining. If people like it and they enjoy the entertainment, I'm not going to knock it. But come on, man. Can we actually have real fighters doing these boxing matches and stuff now? Like, this is getting insane. Really? Like, we got celebrities out here trying to duke it out. We got celebrities coming and doing up and unders. And, I mean, like, I want to see real fighters. Can we get the real boxers fighting? Please. Come on, guys. Please, can we do that at least? Wow. So, moving on. I just wanted to touch on that. I thought it was comical, but I want to see real fighters. So, the next article that I wanted to get to comes courtesy of Complex, and it's people talking about the game that came on last night. The Nikola Jokic being ejected for a hard foul in Game 4 of the NBA playoffs against the Phoenix Suns. A hard foul, they say. So if you watch the games, I'm a big fan of Nikola Jokic, but this is not biased at all, okay? I believe the Phoenix Suns was a better team. I believe they deserve to win the series. But if you didn't watch, Denver Nuggets star Nikola Jokic was ejected from Game 4 against the Phoenix Suns after making hard contact with the face of the Suns guard Cameron Payne. So I'll link this article in the description and all the articles that I'm talking about in the description and in the video here. And I'm actually going to play some video of this foul if you didn't catch it, and then I'll react to it. Actually, let me just pull it up on this. It'll be better. All right. Here we go. Okay.
You can break your nose.
Okay. So that's enough of that. This is getting silly, man. In this NBA, it's gotten so soft recently. I mean, I'm a fan of NBA basketball, and they're going to have to change the name of the association if they keep going this way to no honeybees allowed. Okay? Because the league, it used to be, it meant something. Like, it was rough and tumble. But now it's so soft. You can't even blow on somebody without getting a foul. You got bad breath. They're going to call you for a technical foul. It's so soft. And I just don't understand it. Every 2 seconds, they go look at the monitor for someone just committing a regular foul. It's like, could you let the guys play? Okay. Can we see some physical play? I like the Pistons of 04, the bad boy Pistons, the Pistons of 04. Okay. Rough and tumble basketball, the Bulls in the 90s. Okay. When you check people, remember the grit and grind Grizzlies, Tony Allen getting up in people's shorts. That's what I enjoy. I like defense. I like to play defense myself. I like the physical nature of basketball. Sometimes when I play, I sometimes I get people saying, "Why are you checking me, body checking me and stuff?" I say, it's called basketball, and I'm not following you. Don't you find it funny when you play basketball? It's usually always any of my brothers or anybody who's played basketball. It's always the guy that likes to be physical and likes to come into you. Don't like when you stay in your ground, put your chest up and say, "Come here, come on, I'm here, I'm ready." That brand of basketball, of actually defending and enjoying defending, is starting to get lost in this day and age and this culture of these finesse players. So, give me my NBA back. It's soft. And Stephen A. Smith, he tweeted, and he had something to say about it. And I agree with what he was saying. He said, "This is the damn problem with the NBA right now. You do not make that call versus Jokic a flagrant 2. The swipe was a frustration foul. We've seen worse. The fans do not attend games for this kind of call. You've ejected the league MVP. You don't do this. #unreal. I agree with him. And I didn't want to watch the rest of the game. I did just because I like the Denver Nuggets and I wanted to see what they could do. And they didn't have enough to win that game without Jokic. But it's a shame that the Phoenix Suns are going to the Western Conference Finals off of that. They probably was going to win the series anyway, but it's not a good product. It's not what we want to see as fans, okay? A guy swipes down at the ball, and I will tell you this too. If Cameron Payne didn't crumble down and fall, they wouldn't have called it. You cannot call a fan and take somebody's out of the game based on a reaction, based on the guy's reaction to the content, to the contact, not the actual contact. That's what I don't like. I don't like when they officiate the guy's reaction and not the actual behavior that the player did before that. Like, kind of like, it always pisses people off when somebody misses a layup and then they wait for the guy to miss the layup and then they call, oh, that was a foul. It was only a foul because he missed. That's not cool. Just remain consistent, okay? All right, so we got another message from the sponsor, and then we will continue on with the show and wrap it up. All right, and we have our recurring segment before we do. Cheers. All right, we have our recurring segment. And this week on Things I Wish I Knew When I Was 17. All right. So something that I wish I knew when I was 17 would be, as a young person, as a young man, don't pour your time, your money, and your energy into impressing and appeasing women at this time. Me personally, I cannot tell you how many times I went out on a Friday and I bought an outfit, horrible outfits at that, because I had no sense of style really at that time. Shoes, a whole fit just to go out on the town, okay? And this was closer to like when I turned 18. All of that for what? To go to a party, or when I got a little bit older, to a bar, to meet people, to meet girls out and about on the town, okay? During that time, you're going to approach women and you're going to meet people. And yeah, it's going to be some fun, but you're going to get rejected hundreds of times. That is the plight of a young man in America, okay? We deal with it, and most will go through that. But at the end of the day, if I could do things differently, I would spend more time learning. I would spend more time observing what is actually going on in the world and developing myself. So I do know, as a young man, there are hormones at play, okay? There's testosterone, there's, energy pulsating through your veins all the time, and that, excitement and that vigor. I understand all that. We all go through it. However, at the end of the day, young man, I would tell you to delay some of that short-term gratification to set yourself up to have a longer play so that you can have real fun and success later. Because going out on the town, spending money that you don't have for these outfits, for these clothes, to try to wear, Jordan, or even now it's Balenciaga, Dior, Louis Vuitton, all that stuff that you can't afford because you're 17, you're 18. At the most, you can buy a belt, but who just wants a belt, right? What you should be focusing on is becoming a better version of yourself. And also focusing on that inner growth and determination, because at the end of the day, I would say, trust me, those nights on the town, when you really look back at it, are not worth it. I know that you're still going to go. You're young. Have your fun. I'm just reaching out to you as your big brother, okay? Just be safe. Remember, moderation in life is key with anything that you do. And also, going out, meeting people who are under the influence of alcohol, talking to a bunch of young women who are not yet interested or even know what they want in life, but they're reaching out to you and they're talking to you and they're getting validation from you, and all they really want at the end of the day is free drink. So I'll say this again. So this is advice coming to you from your big brother. Trust me, those nights on the town are not worth it. I know that you're still going to go, but I just implore you to be safe. Remember, anything that you do, moderation is key. Okay? So you're going to have your fun. You're going to do your thing. But just know that at the end of the day, that person that's in front of you when you're out and about on the town, for the most part, doesn't care about you. That person just cares about getting validation, free drinks, and pretty much using you. Because let's be honest, the nightlife, the going about on the town and everything, for the most part, that life is not for you. It's not for a young man. Young mans that go out, first of all, it's for the women to get attention, validation, and to have a good time. If you really think about it, the club scene, the partying, all that stuff, for the most part, it's not a good experience for you, young man. First of all, when you get there, it's ladies' night. They get in free. You got to pay, okay? You get up to the door to get into the establishment. Nope, your jeans don't look right. You can't get in. Oh, your shoes don't look right. You can't get in. Okay. Oh, that shirt, you can't wear that type of shirt. You got to have a polo tee or a casual, nice, formal type of shirt. Woman can go in there wearing anything. Okay. So the experience is not tailored towards you to have a good experience. It all caters to the ladies for the most part. And that's fine. They want ladies to come into the establishment. But I would just say, I would tell myself when I was 17, do not focus on those things, because what you need to focus on is you. You need to focus on developing yourself. You need to focus on building and establishing your confidence. You need to focus on becoming a better man, and becoming a better man is being on your purpose, being dedicated, and having a passion. It's something that you're passionate about, because when you become and then when you value yourself, the women, the opportunities, the success, all that stuff that you are destined for and you're destined to have when you become the best version of yourself will come to you when you become. I'm imploring you to become, young man. And when you do that, you are going to be destined to be what you always were meant to be. And I'm not saying that I don't enjoy women, that I don't like women. Yes, they are awesome. They create great value in our lives. But at the end of the day, that can't be the main focus and purpose of your life. You are meant for so much more. You're meant to add value to the next generation. And you can't do that chasing women and chasing validation from things that aren't going to fulfill you. You need to be happy before a woman can come into your life and before you can add value to her. Okay, you need to be comfortable within yourself. And once you do that, then you could progress on and actually be an asset to someone else and to the community. So I would implore you to stop buying things that you can't buy. Stop buying things that you can't afford. I'd much rather wear something that has no logo, no branding, a regular shirt and some jeans, clean, of course. Some Adidas. I like Adidas. Okay. I don't need Balenciagas. All right. I don't need these expensive ass shoes that look weird as heck that got like this 4-inch heel. I'm not Prince. I don't need no high stacks. I see people walking around with these shoes. They got these big high stacks. Y'all look like some astronauts walking around. Look weird, okay? Just because some rapper said that this is the new thing or you're influenced by this, Balenciaga or whatever. I don't care. I walk through some of those stores and I look at those shoes and they look stupid. They look silly, but you gonna spend $2,000 on them? You gonna spend $1,000 on them? Why? You're spending $1,000 on them. Why? Because somebody said they're cool? No. Be your own trendsetter, okay? You make your own decisions. Don't be influenced by the masses, okay? I have faith in you and I have belief in you, okay? And if you can't afford something, don't buy it. You'll be fine with your clean Adidas, all right? With your bills paid. And at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with this. Don't continue with a poor man's mentality, because if you have that mentality, you will always be poor. Even when you have some money, you're still going to be poor. I want you to break out of that, and I want you to have a rich man's mentality and a successful mindset that builds wealth, and you will always be poor trying to be rich. The people who are wealthy and successful don't have to outwardly show it because they know they are successful and they have inherent value, and their success, the money that they have, and the wealth is a byproduct of their inherent value. I feel like a lot of people are trying to keep up with the Joneses and put off this persona that they're doing well when it's really just a facade, and it's just masking something that they're trying to, what's the best way to put this? Something that they're trying to validate with themselves. Something that they're trying to, what's the best way to put this? They're trying to cope with and mask their situation in a way. I call it retail therapy. Don't do that, okay? Focus on becoming a better version of yourself in whatever that means. And that just means developing. That means observing. That means, yes, going out and speaking with people and being you, not trying to be anybody else, not trying to act like you're all that or act like you're some macho person. If that's not you, people are going to respect you when you're confident in who you are. And the only way you can be confident with who you are authentically is by becoming and having principles that are not validated by any other person but yourself. And you will know when you're putting in the work. Me, I feel purpose, and I feel, validated by what I'm doing, strictly by me, because I'm always in a state of learning, and I'm always in a state of figuring things out and learning how to do things. This podcast, this YouTube channel has been a challenge for me because there's so much stuff that I'm trying to learn each and every day, how things work, how to do this, how to color grade, all of that stuff. And every day that I'm working on this, I'm working these muscles and I'm trying to get better at it. So I'm not just talking this stuff, I'm preaching it. All right. No, I didn't want to say that. And I also make mistakes too. Ira Glass, shout out to Ira Glass, the creative process. I'm not just talking and preaching this stuff. I'm walking it, and I'm a product of it, and I'm learning each and every day. For God's sake, I'm wearing a McLovin shirt right now. You know what I mean? No Dior, no Balenciaga stuff over here. I'll wear Adidas, man. I like Puma. Okay? I don't need to buy no $1,000 shoes to validate me. That's weird and silly and goofy. Okay? Somebody needs to step up and tell you this. That's not going to make you great. Okay, yeah, you got $1,200 Balenciagas on, but you live at home with your mom. Okay, if you don't got a car yet, you dang sure don't got no house. And I'm not saying it's wrong to be there, but it's just a process to things. After you establish your credit, build yourself up, you got a house, you're not living at home, or you got your own place at least, then let's focus on maybe splurging and, upgrading your wardrobe in a way that is within your budget and reasonable. Okay. But I feel like far too often people are going the opposite and they're doing things opposite in backward order. And that's only going to lead you to trouble in the long run. And that's not what I want to see. So that's what I wanted to do with this episode, man. Let's focus on, just growing. And I think that we're on to the right path here. And I'm going to keep putting content out, pressing it out. I appreciate everybody that's listening to this. And at the end of the day, there comes a point in your life, and I'll get into this in a further video, where you say, I am not moving with the status quo. I am going to do something different. And I'm going to do what I want to do because I want to do it. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of me or what anybody else has to say, because it's something that I want to do. I want you to get that level of confidence and brashness in whatever you're doing. Because I think far too often people get discouraged and they don't do the things that they really want to do in their life because they're scared and fearful. And that's no way to live your life. So anybody listening to this right now, if you got a dream, you got a passion, you got something that you want to do, go for it. And just press play, just press record. Okay, who cares if you fail at it initially? You only fail if you don't try. So, so that's what I'll leave you guys with. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Take care of yourselves. I know a lot of people are out here traveling. If you're a woman, make sure that if you're out in a different country or anywhere like that, that you're being aware of your surroundings, males as well. Make sure that you are living in the moment and authentically being yourself, being present. I feel like far too often people are out thinking about what's going to happen next week and next month, and they're not living in the now, and they're not enjoying their lives in the moment. So be gracious, be humble, and hug somebody, eat something good, drink something good, and it's been another episode of the Karat Juice Podcast. I'll speak to you guys next week, and I hope that everyone just be well.